bar tonight. I've left Jack indoors watching Cars 2 with that Owen Wilson fella playing the red car, and he seems to like that film very much. So hopefully he'll stay put in there. Welcome everybody to the chat today. Where are we? What day of the week it is? I don't bloody know. Tuesday, isn't it? Because the bins are out. So good to see everybody. If you've just arrived, if I could ask you if you could give me a thumbs up, that would be cool. Let's get those algorithm ticklers up and running as quickly as we can. That will be perfect. And here we go. Let's have a look and say hello to everybody. First of all, who have we got in the chat? Right to the top of the pile. Alan Pape, hello, good to see you. Yes, my razor is broken. Well, it isn't actually. I just haven't had an appointment with it. I went down to Hereford, as you know, and I forgot to take a razor with me. And in the last couple of days since, I've not bothered. I'm starting to look a bit grizzly, though, so I'll have to try and do something about that tomorrow. Cosmic Wartoad, hello to you. Julie Keys, hello to you. Bridget as well. Kirky Bailey, we're getting all the regulars, which is wonderful. Julie Baldwin, hello to you. I want to give a special shout out to Julie Baldwin for her conduct last night. Julie Baldwin is a moderator on the channel, and one of the channel members, for whatever reason, blew a gasket and was quite rude and abusive and called me a fat. I won't repeat it. And she did the necessary and dealt with the problem. Kick off, ban, out you go. I don't quite know what caused that, but well done, Julie. Thank you very much. And that's all I will say about it. Bob Hollyoak, hello to you. Rugby in your house. Jan Kelly, comfy chair, glass of wine. I'm reading. Evening, everybody. I'm relatively new and a slow typer. That's all right, Jan. You know, you've got to type it slowly because I don't read very fast. You know that old joke, so that's all right. Cess 78, hello to you. Who else have we got? Oh, thank goodness. Excellent. Bloodnose, hello to you. Reporting in. Excellent. John Harris. Who else have we got here? I'm looking out for new people. And we've got all the regular people, which is good. John Harrington, hello to you. Who said sup, Andy? Oh, that's Kirky, isn't it? That's where I turned up. Jay Goose, hello. Harry Harlow, Jan Kelly, Joe Burgess, Daniel Holmes, yes, hello. Bon Scott, wonderful, 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 wonderful. Evening, Andy, the scruffy cabby, laugh out loud. You're only kidding. Well, you absolutely right there. I'm a bit of a scruff bag. Sound is breaking up. Okay, hopefully. I just want to check something. Oh, no. When I come out the house this morning, I was on 5G. I don't quite know what that was all about, but now I'm back on 4G again. So I'm not sure. Who's this? Len B Music Tuition, new to the chat. Well, hello, Len B, and thank you for joining the channel. Hope you're good, and thank you for your support, and hope you find what we're looking for here. It's just a general chit chat. You know, about anything and everything, and other news and current events as well from Andy the Gabby Cabby. I'm getting some people saying that the sound's cracking up a little bit. Can you give me a 1 in the chat if the sound is okay, and a 2 if it's a bit garbage? So 1 for okay, 2 for garbage. As I said earlier on today, I noticed that there was some 5G coverage up here. So and that's just suddenly appeared out of nowhere. So I don't know whether that's anything to do with it or not. Sound is cracking. Sound is cracklish. There's a few of you saying it. Sounds horrible, Tanya says. Hi, Andy the Dalek, and all in chat. You're all saying the sound's crap. It seems to be recovering. 1.3 got better. Seems to have settled now. That's most odd. I might try, you know, something else. It might be just interference of some description. I don't know what caused that. And terrible again now. Okay. Let's check the signal again, because I'm not actually breaking up or buffering at my end. It seems to be okay. Sit back from the mic, Andy, as it happens when you go close for some reason. Went out and come back in. My phone did an update last night, so I hope it's not anything to do with that. But let's crack on and we'll see how we do. How is it with me sitting back here? Is it okay? Seems better when you sit back. Okay, that answers that question. All right, we'll go with that then, and hopefully I can read what you're all saying to me. Sounds like a microphone issue, Andy. Okay. I mean, one thing I can try is shred it again, find out. Okay. Yeah, it's when I sit back by the sound of it. One thing I can try is these again, if there is a problem. But we will see what happens there. Yes. Let's have a look what we got in the news today, shall we? Well, Sadiq Khan, Lord Mayor of London. It's I don't quite know what to make of this. We've seen Boris again with Partygate, standing there with a glass in his hand, and all the other things have phased out. I have one question straight away. How was that photo gotten hold of by the press? Who leaked it? I have my suspicions, all these comings and goings, if anybody gets the cryptic nature of what I just said. And they're all over it again, and it's all over the news like some bloody kind of rash. Can the code be broken? Julie Baldwin says. Hello, Bev Berry. Sadiq Khan has jumped on the bandwagon. This Lord Mayor of London, who's supposed to be looking after things like making sure that the crime is coming down and all this sort of thing. Well, today, of course, he wants a full explanation of the Metropolitan Police Commissioner about all the individual Partygate cases. And my immediate reply to that is, mind your own fucking business. It comes after leaked images show Boris Johnson raising a glass during a lockdown leaving party that were released yesterday. Who knew? Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, has written to Acting Metropolitan Police Commissioner Sir Stephen House to seek a detailed explanation of the force's decisions over individual cases in the Downing Street Partygate investigation. Thank you for the £1 super chat, John Harris. I appreciate it. That'll go straight in the fund, and thank you very much. Yes, Lorna Mackenzie, you're quite right. What the hell's it got to do with Sadiq Khan? I mean, in my view, he's just point scoring over the Met Police and those of the right again. It's not great. Hello, Mum. See you in the chat. Yes, Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, has written to Acting Met Police Commissioner Sir Stephen House to seek a detailed explanation of individuals' cases in the Downing Street Partygate investigation. A spokesman for Mr. Khan said the letter was written because he's concerned that the trust and confidence of Londoners in the police is being further eroded by a lack of clarity over the probe. I mean, here's the picture here. I'm sure you've all seen it in the news, with Boris raising a glass to somebody with faded out stuff, not showing any other individuals. Yes, okay. The spokesman said Sadiq has today written to the acting commissioner of the Met to seek a detailed explanation of the factors that were taken into account by investigating officers when decisions were made about whether to take action in individual cases. He has asked them to take steps to also reassure Londoners by making this explanation to them directly, because he's concerned that the trust and confidence of Londoners in the police is being further eroded by the lack of clarity. The mayor has been clear he cannot and would not intervene in operational decisions. However, with the investigation now complete, he's made the request in accordance with the Policing Protocol Order 2011, paragraph 23G of all things. The move comes after Downing Street confirmed late last week that the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, would receive no further fines over lockdown breaches. Scotland Yard said last Thursday it's issued FPNs for events in Downing Street and across Whitehall spanning a period of 8 days, 28 people receiving between 2 to 5 fines each, which we knew about. Mr. Johnson received 1 fine for the event of his 56th birthday. But since then, leaked images have emerged which show Mr. Johnson raising a glass at a leaving party. It's a lot like that one with Keir Starmer standing in the window with a beer in his hand, I suppose. But, you know, let's not go there. The leaked images have emerged which show Mr. Johnson raising a glass in Downing Street during the second lockdown. Hours before the pictures were released by ITV News, his former advisor, Dominic Cummings, here we go, I knew he'd crop up somewhere, said photographs showing Mr. Johnson lied to the Commons and to the police, and there will be more leaked in the next 2 days. So if he knows it, he's the leaker, isn't he? Yes, I'm fed up with this now. I mean, Sadiq Khan is using the justification Londoners need reassuring, Londoners want clarity. I mean, you know, if I was a Londoner, walking down the street and feeling safe would be far more important to me than whether Boris Johnson had a glass of port in 10 Downing Street in front of 20 people when he maybe shouldn't have done. If I was a Londoner, I'd want to feel safe in my own home. If I was a Londoner, I'd want to know I could get down the underground and get to where I was going on time without TfL falling to pieces around my ear rolls. If I was a Londoner, the list would go on and on and on. This is nothing more than political point scoring by this man. See, there he is, bless his lefty cotton socks. And I don't quite see the point in it. He just wants to score points over everyone again, and you know he continues to do so, and I have to say, mind your own fucking business. Basically, that's all I can say. Welcome to the chat, everybody. This is the daily chat with Andy the Gabby Cabby. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like button on the chat. I'd appreciate that. Let's get the old algorithm talking. And if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing as well. That's all part of it, and I appreciate that, and we'll get those numbers up again. We can also be found on social media and various other outlets like that. Now, let's have a look at the chat. And one thing I want to know again, before I see what some people are saying. Hello, Jenny. Good to see you here. Can I have a show of hands about the sound again? Because I'm still seeing some people complaining it's crap. Can we have 1 for crap and 2 for good? So I don't want to see any ones, basically, but 1, 1.5. He doesn't get the point, Andy. 1, 2, 1.5, 2, 2. Oh, it's fine. 2, 2, 1, 1-ish. I wonder what ish is. Is that a fish without an F? Michael, mate. Wow, chat is flying by. Amazing. 1.5. Yeah, it's a bit hit and miss. What I'm going to do, it might break the sound very temporarily. But I'm just going to try something because it's important that, you know, we all get heard properly. Right. Let's see what happens here. Put these in. What's that sound like now? Let's have another show of hands. 1 for crap or 2 for good? I thought I'd get the sound right up close to me, piping through the earbuds, and see how we do. I find it a bit coincidental that there was a thing last night. What did I say? 1 for crap and 2 for good, or yeah, 2 good, 1 crap. Yeah, 2 equals good. I'm going senile, I think. Sounds like you're cooking bacon, Andy. Too good, too good. 2, 2. Okay, I think we're slightly better now I've done that. I think maybe that the 2 lovely earrings. I think maybe the sound or something on the microphone with the update has probably messed me around a bit. So we'll get by on these, and I'll listen to what's going on later on, and see if we can tidy things up. It went again for a brief second. Yeah, this has got to be bandwidth trouble, I reckon, but we'll see how we do. Right. Yeah, so I think we're all agreed with Sadiq Khan. It's got nothing whatsoever to do with him. Why the hell he's even commenting, I don't know. I mean, there's big problems in London, isn't there? People just don't feel safe on the streets. You've got the congestion zone stuff going on everywhere, and people just don't want to go there anymore. And he's worried about what Boris has to drink in an office. Get a fucking life and stay out of bars. That's my conclusion to that. Dip again. I don't think you're the problem, Andy. Tanya too. It's Billy Whiz. Sounds okay here. Okay, we're just gonna carry on and see what happens. I mean, an example of the kind of thing that I'm talking about. I mean, albeit this happened in Liverpool rather than London, but it's still one of our cities. Could be bandwidth trouble, Andy. A good bet should solve it. Yeah, I'm going to have a play with something later. This youngster here, brown bread. It's not good. Boy 14 found guilty of murdering 12-year-old Ava White. I mean, this is disgraceful. A 14-year-old boy has been found guilty of the murder of a 12-year-old Ava White. The schoolgirl was fatally stabbed in Liverpool city centre on November the 25th last year. The 14-year-old, who cannot be named for legal reasons, claimed he accidentally stabbed the schoolgirl in the neck in self-defence. I don't get that. I really don't. In court today, more than 20 members of Ava's family were nervously sat in the public gallery. They erupted into cheers as the jury returned a verdict of guilty to the charge of murder. Meanwhile, the defendant on video link put his head in his hands. During the trial, which lasted just over 2 weeks, the court heard Ava and her friends became involved in an argument with the defendant and 3 of his friends after the boys recorded Snapchat videos. The girls had been attending a Christmas light switch-on before the incident took place. The defendant told the jury, "I promise I didn't mean to hit her." Earlier in the evening, he said he heard one of the group threaten to stab his friend if he did not delete a video of Ava. During the trial, the boy's barrister claimed Ava wanted a confrontation, but prosecutor Charlotte Newell QC told the court Ava in particular was appalled and angry, and they were filming her. It's quite insistent they delete the footage. She did not inflict any violence upon him greater than a push, nor did she produce or have any weapon. After the argument, the teenage boy then struck Ava in the neck with a knife. He ran away, discarded the weapon, took off his coat, and that was later found in a wheelie bin. You do stuff like this, you're not going to hide it. The court was told Ava's last words to her friends as she lay there on the ground were, "Don't leave me." She must have been terrified. The 14-year-old boy was later captured on CCTV buying butter in a shop, which he said was for crumpets. When he was arrested, he told police he'd not been in the city centre. In later interviews, he blamed a different boy for Ava's death. The boy will be sentenced at a later date. I mean, he's thrown his life away, isn't he? How do you even begin to sentence or make sense of that? It's awful. Ava's father, Robert Martin, paid tribute to his daughter and said the family had been left completely devastated and heartbroken. In December, hundreds gathered for Ava's funeral at Liverpool Metropolitan Cathedral. Imagine by John Lennon was performed, and loads of glow sticks and phones were held up to light things up in her memory. Her death led for calls for no more knives in our city. At Ava's vigil, hundreds of balloons, some in the shape of Ava, released, and there are tributes galore. You look at something like Sadiq Khan in London, complaining about Boris. Hi, Zena, good to see you. And you've got to wonder what planet these guys are on, and you have a young girl in Liverpool losing their life like that. This is very real. I've had experiences recently where I've sat down and spoken to a teenager myself, and there's very much a one-upmanship ego kind of thing goes on with these groups, peer pressure, you don't do this to me or I'm going to get you back kind of thing. It just goes on all the time, and I don't think they realise sometimes the consequences of their actions. You pull a knife and strike someone with it, they're going to die probably. If you get the right place, it's as simple as that. It's awful. Hi Doris, nice to see you too. I mean, all I can do is express condolences to Ava and her family. Such a sad loss at an incredible young age. What's the answer to tragic things like this, Bridget? That's true. Somehow, somewhere, we need to find a solution to stop these kids wanting to hurt each other, because if they do this at that age, I mean, what's going to happen to this boy that killed her? Is he going to be locked up forever? Is he going to be another, come out in a few years with a new identity? What's going to happen? But once you've taken a life, is that you done forevermore? It really is one of those things I just can't get my head around. Unbelievable. And we see this go on every day in every city, everywhere. And these kids need to be given a chance to, thrive and grow. I mean, I heard somebody once say that, kids don't have anything to do anymore, so they roam the streets causing a load of shit. I don't know whether that's true. You have your opinions on that, I'm sure you do. Hopefully we can make it better sometime. Listen, everybody, this is the daily chat with Andy the Gabby Cabby. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't done so already this evening, can you please hit the like button on the chat? That'll be good. That'll get the algorithm talking and get us up there. We're on about 71 likes at the moment and well over 100 in the chat. And also, if you're new here, you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the chat. You do see people in the chat as well with a little shaped circle emblem next to them. Those are our channel members, and they all pay something like £1 a month just to keep me in Coca-Cola. And there's no commitment to that. If you want to financially support us, either a one-off or a rolling thing, then that's very wonderful of you as well if you choose to do that. Thank you very much, everybody. And also, I just want to give a shout out to, well, literally everybody that views these chats. All of your positive contributions and your opinions are very much appreciated. And, thank you very much. Now, let's try and have a look at the chat and see what some people have got to say. Fern Wright, hello. Good to see you. Lad is 15 and was released on bail the next day, still walking the streets. Sickening. Hearing the young'uns in work weekend chat, used to be getting drunk and meeting youngs. Now all I hear is about how much drugs and wiped out they are. Yeah, I mean, a lot of them. I've told the story before where I've had an encounter with, drunk youngsters in a pub, and I wasn't best pleased about it. Japan says it scrambled fighter jets to respond to the approach of Russian and Chinese warplanes near its airspace. Jesus Christ, when did that happen, Tony? I kept that quiet. They did the same for Jamie Bulger's murderers. I know, Jody. Out, new identities, jobs are good. No, I know it's awful. I mean, one day this kid will become an adult, and you have to think, they will be fully aware even now of the consequences of what they've done. And the fact he ran and, went and bought butter for scones and said he was never there, he knew what he did, and he's trying to hide from it. Kirky Bailey, national service. Once upon a time, I would agree with you, very much so. I mean, national service, or they called it boys' service back in the day of the 1950s and the 1960s. They get you in, beat crap out of you, break you down, and build you back into their image or a better person. But I've spoken to ex-army people who described their training to me, like if you didn't bath, getting slung in a freezing cold bathtub and brush with a bass broom at 3 o'clock in the morning. Somebody gets sued now. And the attitude of some of the kids, would they take it off of an RSM giving them a bollocking for a bed pack that wasn't put together right? I don't know whether that's the answer anymore, but we've certainly got a generation of self-entitlement out there, I think. Most of these look up to Stormzy. Yeah, Bev, I hear English kids all the time talking and rapping and trying to put on that voice of the rappers that I listen to and they look up to, and with all of these songs they have the N word in them, and I'm gonna kill you. I think, oh, fuck off, it's utter crap, garbage. But they seem to like it. And does that promote this gang culture? I really don't know. I'm just an old gammon at the end of the day compared with them. Andy, should they ban mobile phones in schools? I don't think banning them completely may be the answer, but certainly within a classroom environment, because they're a distraction. People can't help going on them. It should be in a bucket, return at the door at the end. Or just leave the goddamn things at home. We never had mobile phones back in the day, so it's one of them. Zena, hello to you. Where are we? It's a good job Boris is not Pinocchio. No, his nose would get stuck in the door of number 10, wouldn't it? That's Paul Hoskin that's made that comment. Very apt. You get more drugs in prison than you do on the outside. That's John. Yeah, I mean, there's an interesting case in America at the moment. The guy who's part of a Mexican gang cartel. Apparently, his last name's Lopez. I don't know if any of you have seen it, but he was transported to, or he was being transported in a prison bus to a location, and there was an escape. He managed to bust his way through the cage, separating the driver from the rest of the prisoners, attack and stab the driver and get out and disappear. And, the actions of everybody around and what actually happened stinks very much of an inside job. And you have to think who got information into the prison, who got things into the prison, who organized everything. There's so many factors where there's been inside interference, and how do these things get in these prisons? I mean, I've heard stories of mobile phones getting hoisted up through the bars outside of a prison window. It's unbelievable how they're able to get away with it and perpetrate some of these things. Sadiq is like a bull in a china shop. That's one way to describe him, Jody. John Lennon once said, I think our society is run by insane people for insane objectives. We're being run by maniacs for maniacal ends. 2022. Don't hide their intentions, own nothing and be happy. Yeah, I did a video earlier. I was literally driving home, right, down the M25, and I heard that there could be another price hike coming with our energy very soon, as soon as October. When they said the figure on the radio, it's something like 900 quid a year. I thought, how the hell are we going to afford any of this? And we're going to get in a situation where, is there going to be some kind of intervention at the end of the day? I really don't know, but it's more and more and more difficult as we go. Uh, Catherine, sadly, they'll never get over it. Said that to Kevin. You won't. You're not supposed to bury your child. You know, it's supposed to be the other way around. Uh, Hi, Andy. Nice to see you. That's Doris. Good to see you too, Doris. Hope you're keeping well. I mean, I've had a couple of things where my eldest lads run afoul of a couple of things over the last few years, and I've been steaming angry. I'm so protective of my kids. I wanted to find the person that did it and have words. And you get to that point as a father where when they're just got in a spot of bother. How do you feel when they're not there anymore? That the ultimate horrible things happen to them. I couldn't imagine. I really couldn't. It's a nightmare for any parent, and I really do send my condolences. Uh, uh, Good and rough everywhere. That's Jan Kelly. Yeah, that's very true. What's that, lassie? Woof, woof, woof. Woof, woof. Boris has been naughty. Woof, woof, woof. And should resign. I agree. Stink Pooter, the Wirral has some of the best weather in the UK. I don't know what the weather's been like where you've been today. It's pissed off with rain, most of it, around where I've been, between Gatwick and Margate. Send him to jail for life. Life should mean life. Yeah, Christine. I mean that's a very valid comment, isn't it? Life should mean life. I read another thing. I think it was yesterday actually, where it said life, but they were actually getting 14 years. 14 years isn't life, and they'll probably be out on parole sooner rather than later. It's not great. Michael May used to live in Birkenhead. Discipline begins at home. That's very true, Jody. I mean, I was brought up with a father that's ex-army and a current, now retired police officer for a long time. And, I wouldn't dare step out of line. Well, not around him anyway. I might have given my mum a bit of a run for her money. You never know. But, yeah, definitely does begin at home. Few guys and gals document TikTok on YouTube. Yeah, lots of crazies out there. Yeah, kids are very influenced as well by what they see online. My kids are always watching YouTube stuff, and it's crazy. Still rough today. Kirky Bailey says both lives ruined. Very sad for both families. Yeah, Bridget, it's disgusting. Jack, rate the cap. He's too engrossed in his film, Alan. John, I should ban Snapchat and TikTok. I hate Snapchat. I mean, if I'm right with Snapchat is one of those where all of the chats just disappear. I think that's why the kids love it. They can cover their steps. Remember that heartbreaking for the family. Blame the 14-year-old's parents. Mozzie, yep, shouldn't have been carrying a knife at all. Correct, Lorna, correct. I mean, this is the thing. Years ago, if you stepped out of line or upset somebody, you'd probably get a bunch of fives, otherwise known as a knuckle sandwich. But these days, they might pull something on you. That seems to be the thing, doesn't it? It really does. It's tempers as well. Tempers can be frayed. I did a video a day or two ago where I told you about a problem one of my customers had with EasyJet, whereby they turned up twice to the airport and twice the damn flight was cancelled at the last minute, and they had to come home again at a great deal of expense. Now, I don't know whether this will play. Yeah, I was showed this video. I don't know if you can all see this. This was an NFL player being tackled by somebody at the United Airways check-in desk. I mean, look. Ooh, that's a hell of a whack. And this happened at an airport, and you can see United Airlines just in the back there. He's gave him a hell of a whack, and he's obviously hit his head on the way down, and he's coming at him for more. That's absolutely crazy. And on it goes. Now they're having words, and somebody else steps in there, and it escalates. That's about 45 seconds, but there is another version of that video which lasts about 5 minutes, and it more or less escalates into a full-on punch-up over some dispute over something. But he's just gone poof and lamped him straight out. It's a crazy world, and people don't seem to be able to hold their tempers in check any longer. I don't know. I mean, these guys that I took up to the airport the other day, one of the guys, he was Irish, and he said, if they cancel the plane again, you're going to see me on the news. I guarantee it. I see you later, my friend. That's what he said. But I watched the news at 10 and I didn't see him, so maybe he didn't carry through on his threat. This is the daily chat with Andy the Gabby Cabby, everybody. Good to see you all. If you haven't done so already, please can you give the thumbs up on the chat? That will be great. And let's get that algorithm talking a bit more. If you haven't done so already as well, and you're just new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I've seen a couple of people in the chat this evening saying that they're new, so welcome to you. Subscribing is completely free of charge. Just hit the button and you'll get notified of everything that I do every day. I'm going to try and snip a couple of bits out and get everything out later on today. For a bit more content actually. We're on social media too, all the usual guilty subjects: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and so on, so you can find us over there too. And if you want to financially support the channel, we do have 3 levels of channel memberships, and we've got a load of people on £1 a month. They just buy me a can of Coke, so thank you very much indeed, and I appreciate you all, and also everybody that makes all the comments as well. I'm going to round this off at about 40 minutes today, folks, because I've got a early airport run really, and let's have a quick look and see who we've got. John Harris has just given another £1 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for your support, John. That's wonderful. Thank you, and thank you to everybody else. I find it interesting to watch. That's Jerry. Cosmic War Toad, not even supermarket shop floor workers safe. I've seen staff having knives pulled on them by shoplifters. Yeah, you've got you've got the you've got the screens, haven't you, that were put up because of the convicts. And I do wonder in some areas, in some cases, whether it might be worth just leaving them there. I don't mean from the sneeze on you point of view. I mean from any potential abuse or problems that you can get off a Joe Public. Maybe it gives them a little bit more security. I don't know. So it's a two-pronged thing, really, isn't it? I worked in an arcade years ago. Never a shop floor kind of thing, but I know the score. Hi, John Kent. Good to see you. Supermarket worker got stabbed here in New Zealand. Wow, that's Catherine. Bev Berry, could you wish my daughter happy birthday, Andy? She's 15 today. Okay, Bev Berry, your daughter, happy birthday to her. 15 years old today. I hope you've had a good day and got everything that you've wished for, and you've been sport rotten by your mum and everybody else, and many happy returns. Andy, read Google's news article, RE airports and flights before you go to the airports. All BA and EasyJet flights were cancelled or something to that effect. When was that, Zena? I mean, I'm going to the airport at 5:30 in the morning. I'm taking some people up there, but I will check that out. I mean, things are getting a bit chaotic at the moment. I get the feeling that this monkey's bollocks is going to bite us sooner or later. They seem to be making a big thing of it. Daphne, hello to you. When I was a bus driver, I was verbally abused daily and spat at more than once and hit by a passenger. There's no need for it, is there? You're just doing your job. I couldn't drive a bus. I really couldn't. You're welcome, Bev Berry. Hope she heard it and put a smile on her face. Tyrone Whitehead, wine and champagne. That'd be nice. That would be nice. Who else we got here? John Harris. I used to be a bus driver and I hated the passengers. Good night, Andy, and everyone in the chat. That's John Harrington. Good night, John. Thank you for coming by and listening again. Good to see you. Sorry to hear that. Real low life. Andy, ever thought of alternatives to Coke? I like Sprite. I have a can of that every now and again, or I'm drinking a lot of water right now because I'm trying to get the weight off. So I do have other stuff. The money pox BS, just to say no to these weirdos not putting up with any nonsense. Yes, apparently it's sexually transmitted, isn't it? So yes, let's not shag. I think they're trying to say. Well, yeah. Speaking personally, you can go forth and multiply. Whoever said that. If you're not quite sure what that means, fuck right off. Jan Kelly used Liverpool Airport 2 weeks ago, no problem. I'm hearing a lot of talk at the moment about Manchester, Birmingham, that kind of area having potential problems. Cold showers, Andy. Yeah, that might be an idea. Yeah, having potential problems, and they're worried about Gatwick having problems too. It just seems like it's getting all chaotic over again. Catherine, I really hope you're wrong, but I've had a sneaky feeling in the back of my mind. Is that what all this is building up to? There's a thing that I'm tuning into at the moment where I just listen to what they're saying. And it's like the figure they take is doubling every couple of days, doubling and doubling and doubling and doubling. Now, the figure it's up to at the moment is a piss in a puddle compared with the population we've got here. But, people will start getting scared and cranky and start shouting that we need to be safe. And it's the vicious cycle of shite all over again. I really fear it is. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, folks, I'm going to wrap things up for the day. I need to go and get some shut-eye because I'm out early, off up to Gatwick, providing, of course, they've not cancelled everything. I want to just show my appreciation to everybody for coming along this evening and chatting with me as you normally do every day. We do one of these every day of the week, except on Thursday. Yes, if you haven't done so already, thumbs up. Let's get that up a little bit more before we all go. Make sure you subscribe as well if you haven't done so already. And big shout out and a thank you to all the subscribers. Big shout out and a thank you to all the channel members and everybody else that positively contributes to Andy the Gabby Cabby. And that note, I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one, folks. Sleep well. Until then, toodaloo.